Ta-da! It's in. So there's my wall. Try to hold the camera straight for you. There's my front wall. Pretty cool. Got my opening into my cab. That's going to get a nice 1.5 inch, 2 inch thick door there. And then my door, which will open up into my storage area. Nice big cabinet storage area. Look at all the stuff I got up there. All my Milwaukee tools right now. And now I get to just insulate all around all of this. And that'll work out good. So I'm excited. A little bit of work accomplished today. It didn't take that long, but it's hot and humid, so going nice and slow. Thanks for joining me. Let's on to the next task. Hey, thought I'd do a little quick shot here on my new drawer system. So there it is. Slides all the way out. I got full access to everything right through here. Slides back. And I got my other one. And it's just clear as the base. I got maximum clearance. My door comes down, connects right there. And so that's the next thing. I'm going to build framing this door, and I'm going to frame in the one below as well. So that's the system. I like that. Usable space, the whole thing, easy to access. Loving it. A new day and another new project. So I have completed my front wall. Pretty excited about that. I've also done most of my insulation, right down to all my foam. I just need to come back and cut that. And for those of you paying attention, I didn't fill these little areas in. I've got 6 of those to do, but that's nothing. That'll take 2 seconds. But I got my front wall done and insulated. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if I can show that to you. Obviously I've got my door in now. For up here, and my slides are in, so that's all functioning now. So I got this door in down here to my cab. On the other side of this, I put that white thin material that I used on my back door. From inside my truck, you don't actually see that there's a door. I'm going to hide the frame and everything. You won't even know that there's a pass-through door to the back of this thing. So I like that. That was a new idea, last minute change when I realized I could do that. All right, so next projects, got to do the floor, get that rigid board insulation down, grout out for my radiant floor system, which is on its way. My refrigerator shows up Monday, a few more days, and I've got to put my inside panels on my rear doors because they're really just in my way here on the floor. They're driving me nuts. I got to get that off the floor so I can clean this thing out and get all my tools away. It's tough building in your driveway, not having a garage and place to store everything. You have to put it in your box, take it out of your box, but I'm making it work. I think I have also figured out, like I said, you may have heard me say earlier, a lot of my wiring, where everything is going. I'm trying to do multiple passes on that so that I don't forget something. Really concerned. And then I'm also concerned about getting my sheathing. Apparently the stuff became very popular, really popular, very fast. And they don't have a lot made up. I'm trying to get just 10 or 12 sheets to get started. And I might not be able to get that for a while. I'm going to find out more today, hopefully. So in my last video, I told you the rear door wasn't quite done, but really close, and I showed you how it worked. So I'm not going to do that again, but I've done a little bit more. I am now trimming this out, putting in trim pieces around. I've still got another one to do here, short a little metal, but trimming that out, putting some gasketing in. It's sealing up tight. I tell you, I just went for a ride, just dead silent. This box is so quiet now. Nothing moves, rattles. It's just the way it should be. The doors got a little heavier because I put an interior paneling in already, and so pretty happy with that. That added some weight. Glad I really changed the outer shell to something much lighter because the door's back to the original weight, which is just enough that, heavy enough that, I think it's hard for the wind to take it, light enough that I can easily maneuver it, and I'll be able to put some pistons in to hold this thing up when it's up. A little more trim. I did trim out inside as well, so all the way around, so I think that gave it a nice finish. I'm going to trim inside the door handle here as well, so that looks good. I'll show you another little thing I've done inside. So I've just been working on little stuff the last couple of days. I did this front wall. I put this in because I'm going to be mounting bike racks, bike holders, fork mounts here. And I wanted something really solid. I didn't want to worry about where I have to put those. So that's going to happen. When I did my rear door, and somebody might have noticed, my gap down at the bottom of my rear door is pretty high. It's like over 3 inches. That actually was intentional. This front area here on the right, for that board, is a kind of a garage area, and it's going to be where wet things dry. I can hang stuff there and let things dry. So I'm actually going to put in a 2-foot by 4-foot pan in here with a drain hole. Now, why 4 feet? Why am I coming all the way over to here where you can see this line? That's my pan. Is because in this here is going to be some water filters, and I'm going to pull them out and be able to drain them right there, making it convenient. I'm not going to have to walk through. They'll slide out, and I'll empty them right over a drain pan, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's why that is so high, because I want that to clear my drain pan. Oh, and then I did this. My door. Let me hold you a little level. You felt a little crooked there, didn't you? All right, my door. Did you see that? Pretty cool, huh? So that is just a spring, and I can just collapse that and close it, and it tucks in out of the way no matter what's in there. It'll just move to wherever it needs to go. I actually saw this on someone else did it, and I thought, pretty cool. Simple. Yes, I think it'll rattle, make a little noise in there. But I'll be in there, not in here when I'm traveling, so I don't care. When I'm sitting still, I won't notice it. But I love it. It's just that easy just to collapse my door and put it back up. All right, still a little work to be done because that just came loose and it shouldn't have done that, but we'll fix that. Still playing with it. That's what I'm going to do on all my doors, I think. The pistons can wear out over time. They're heavier than that. That's really simple. And the pistons take up space, where that'll just kind of go wherever what space is available. It'll fill it. So, I keep saying so. I gotta stop doing that. Well, that's the latest. That's where I'm at now. Got my fans in. Did I show you that? Here, take a quick look. Whoa! So, I got my 2 Max fans in. Ordered them actually quite a while ago because there was a sale in the spring and I knew I needed them, so I said, what the heck, let's do it now. So I got those. And another big thing today came in the mail, and boy, this took no time at all. Actually, when I do a video on this, I will tell you more about it. But I ordered a fan heating kit online. Found a couple. It took me a while to shop for it. It was a really good price. I got it today. I think I ordered it Wednesday. It came in yesterday. I think maybe I ordered it Monday or Tuesday, I guess. And it was in like Thursday. It was in my office. So I went and picked that up. It's all in one big box. I also ordered this week, I think I told you, or you might have seen me earlier, I'm putting in a couple of hatches for access. Well, actually, some of my bags are on top of them, but I'm putting a couple of hatches in here to access my battery box that I'm going to mount underneath. I thought I would get a custom battery box built, and come to find out, that was a bad idea. My fabricator said, that's way too expensive, don't do that. Go to one of the box stores, order, buy one of those truck boxes. They undermount truck boxes, We'll just pull the lid off of it and we won't use it. That's a nice, cheap solution. I'll pull the lid off of that, we'll cut it up a little bit, put some mounting straps on it, mount it underneath there and be done. And then I'll insulate it. That's where my hydronic and my batteries are going. And so I don't feel bad cutting that up. It was an inexpensive box, but heavy, decent gauge, diamond plate, aluminum. It's perfect. It was lighter than most boxes, I guess, the most things I saw. So maybe it's not as quite as heavy gauge as some of the other ones. So I got that, and so a lot of things are in. I'm going to put my fans in over the weekend, and start the wiring and just keep going. But the big tricky part is getting stuff in, right? Getting it. And I'm worried about the solar stuff that I need, my power, the inverter, those kinds of things. So I hope that stuff's in an inventory that I can get that. Otherwise, I think I've got almost everything else I need. The stuff I need for plumbing, easy access to that. I got a local company I think that's going to help me with my plumbing and my filtering. I'm looking forward to that. What else? I'm having a hard time getting my plywood. I don't know if I told you in sequence here or not, but I found a pretty light plywood, 28 pounds for a 1/2 inch sheet. But I'm having a hard time getting that. didn't get the answer I wanted this week, and it takes a week to get, but now they're out, so I don't know how long it'll take to get. And so I'm going to have to work around that as much as I can now. All right, that's the latest update. That's kind of where I'm at. Truck's running good. Everything else is going good. A few cuts and bruises doing this. Just, by the way, be prepared for that. Keep some Band-Aids nearby. Well, at least I guess if you're me. I'm apparently very accident prone. I couldn't even take the battery off my drill the other day without cutting my finger. Don't ask me how that happened. My hand slipped and whack, I cut my finger. So, pretty happy with my door. Functions really well. Got a key, it locks. I can lock myself in. I can lock myself out. People can't lock me in, so that's kind of handy. And I've got another access point. In fact, I don't know if I showed you this. I don't know if I've put this on video yet. This was an idea I had. Let's see if you can look in my van. You may not see through the window too well, but you see that white panel? That's my door. So what you're looking at there is I have figured out that I can take this rear entry door, and if I sheath it just right and put some trim around that, I can make that door disappear from the outside. So that when you look in, you won't even know that there's a rear door to go from the cab to that box. Well, why not hide it, right? I can do it. So that's a new trick. I don't think I've seen anybody do that yet. I don't know. Tell me. Has anybody done that? I'm going to hide my rear door. We'll see how that comes out. All right. I'm rambling. Time to go. Bye. I have holes in my floor. So this is the front passenger side. Those are 18 by, well, this one's a little shorter, 27. That one's 18 by 28. The reason it's shorter is I have a cabinet right here coming in, and I just left just enough clearance for that cabinet wall that this hatch will come out right next to that. And I obviously had to put a little cleat underneath there to support the hatch. I'm not going to hinge it or anything. I'm going to literally just pull them right out, and I'll set them back in, and I'll put little turnbuckle locks on them. But what's cool is both of these hatches are actually hidden underneath things. I am standing on a stainless steel floor pan, shower pan or floor pan, drain pan. That's going to be 2.5 inches high, so that'll go right over that, so you won't see it. And then this part here in the middle actually is all flooring, and so that's going to be raised 2 inches all over that. And then that flows out, that 2 inches goes right down the center here and goes all the way out to that big end down there where my sitting area is. And then obviously this one is inside my cabinet, and the only way to get to that is to pull the bottom drawers out and then pull the lid out. Now my cabinet's going to be a little challenging to get that piece out. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. This may be something that does get hinged, where you have to pull out 18 inches high worth of drawers, and then that just folds up back out of the way. That might be the only way to do that, because I don't think that lid's going to come out after the cabinet's in with the face frame and everything there. It might be a little challenging to get that out. We'll see. Depends on the design of that cabinet and what I do. I haven't actually finished that yet. It's kind of in my head. So this floor comes up 2 inches. 1.5 inches, obviously 2x2 goes down, like 2x2. In between all that framing is 1.5 inches of insulation, which is out there, 1/2 inch board and 1 inch board together, one being foil backed for the reflectix, and holding my radiant floor system. And then everything outside of that, like this, is the bench area. So the other side of that blue tape, let's see if I can get that in the camera. The other side of that blue tape line is my bench, and that's set right down to the actual subfloor here, the truck floor. So that gives me maximum depth there and storage space. I don't waste any of that. I will insulate from underneath, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. I love it. It locks everything in. Now this cabinet is a pre-made cabinet already, and I'm taking a risk with that one. I'm doing something different for a reason, and I'm going to raise that up so that it's up to the same height as this floor level. I will have access to underneath there. I hope I'm going to run my wire piping and wires and stuff underneath that section. So all that's nice and hidden underneath there as well. But I want that cabinet, 36-inch tall cabinet to be the same height as my finished floor, which I'm now standing on, which isn't there, but I'll be standing on it someday. I did bring you, oh, you're looking at boxes. Yeah, I got my, I'll turn you. There you go. I have my Max fan box fans in. They came in actually quite a while ago. They were on sale. I ordered them, and I just pulled them in to read the instructions. That is so easy to install. I think my fortunate situation is that that's pretty flat. It's fiberglass. I've framed it already. I fit. It's perfect. I'll cut those out, caulk that, screw it down, done. And so I'm going to put my fans in as well and get that over with. So making progress, a little at a time. Lots of little things to think through. I was very careful in cutting this floor. I didn't want to screw that up because you can't undo that. So I did sit down and run through all the different scenarios and how things could play out. I took a bit of a risk because I don't actually have the box that's mounting underneath yet. But the manufacturer said it's 18.5 inches wide, and my holes are 18, so I gave myself a little extra room, actually a little bit less than 18. So I'm good. That should all fit just right, maximizing the access to that panel to make life easy when I have to work in that box. There, that's an update for you. We'll on to the next project. Somebody once told me you should put videos together and put some kind of suspense in it. Well, here you go. This isn't really about radiant floors. It was going to be. Then I lost audio on a bunch of my videos. I have a lot of great little segments. Thinking I owe it to you to do a new video just on my radiant floor, I will have to just record audio over my existing footage. So we'll give that a shot. I have not done that before in video editing, and I will give it a shot for you. So please, I know this video turned into all my little projects, next steps. I will show you my floor now, though. It's actually done. Come back in a couple of days, and I'll have a video for you on how I made this happen. There it is. Ta-da! Okay. I got a 1/2 inch subfloor going on top of 2x2s, 1.5 inches, right? 1 foot on center so that I could go with get a nice solid floor out of this, not have to worry about walking and squeaking and moving in there, flexing. And I had to very carefully lay all this out around all the stuff I have not yet built, but intend to build, and hope that I got it all right. But here's what I've done basically. I'll show you. So what I have is radiant floor, radiant pipe coming in, looping all the way up and around and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and eventually back out. The construction of this floor is pretty straightforward. I did 1/2 inch XPS. On top of that 1/2 inch, I did 1 inch poly, which is this silver faced stuff down here from John's. And on top of that, oh, the Mylar that I just moved. Reflective Mylar stuff, whatever, that reflective material. Typically see it in attics. But I couldn't get what I wanted. I wanted some heat shield, reflective radiant heat shields that push things up, they heat it back up, and it's got a little groove in it for the 1/2 inch pipe to go, radiant line to go through. I only needed a handful of pieces, couldn't get it. Everybody wanted to sell it in volume, and so I said, screw that. If I can get some later. I designed my floor, so that my subfloor, so that I can actually pull it up. My finished floor will come out because it'll just be a floating floor. My subfloor is just down with a handful of screws. I can pull it up, access my radiant heat floor system, and I can add those shields later if I get a handful of them. Maybe like 5 or 6 of them. So it's all in. It's good. It's pretty cool. Lots of little things were thought through here. For example, right here. So just to give you a layout, my couch is right here. My kitchen starts right there, and I have a wiring chase because here's my refrigerator. At the bottom of my refrigerator is a cabinet for water pump from a Radiant, I think, and air exchanger. I have a cabinet above my refrigerator right here, about 8 inches by 25 by 2 foot by 2 foot. And that's going to be a lot of my electrical stuff that'll pull out so I can access it. Don't have to work on it inside of there. And so, great place to run my wiring chase to the other side. So there you go. My radiant floor is in. Come back. I'll show you the video of the finished, how I built it instead of just the finished product. It really wasn't that complicated. And yeah, I could have done a little bit more. I still can, because it all comes right out. I didn't glue it down. It's all easily accessible, so pretty cool. And just to cap up the week, I spent a fair amount of time doing some design work. I have been designing my couch. I have done a wiring diagram for where everything goes. Best move I made. Thank you, Brian. My neighbor, friend, he suggested I draw it up. And it was great, because I found things that I should have that I didn't have in my head. I had a drawing. It was drawn on my walls here. But I forgot stuff. And when I looked at it on paper, and I was able to take a couple things out. Like, I have a stupid light here on both, 2 lights over my bed. When the bed's up, you can't use the lights. I don't need those lights when the bed's down. I took them out. They're gone. They're out of the plan. But I do have wall sconces. And this is why I did focus on my electrical before I moved into sheathing this. By the way, I know I told you earlier that I was having a hard time getting my sheathing, my plywood for in here. Went to an alternate choice. Basically, I think it's kind of like the same stuff. Very similar anyways. Also 1/2 inch. It's on order. I was hoping it came on Friday. Today's Sunday. It'll be here Monday or Tuesday. I'll go get that. It's 4 sheets per side. It'll take no time at all to put those up. But I was concerned about what electrical did I have to run behind those panels. Come to find out, it's just this right here. I have a run on this side of a sconset light that it will go up very quickly behind the panel into my cabinet, back out through the paneling, along inside the cabinet, back out and in here, and then loops back down through my wiring chase. I have a similar thing on the other side. That's it. That's all I got. I just got to figure out, my layout for those 4 sheets to side this, whether I go vertical or horizontal. That's my last decision on that. So that's awesome. Everything else I have designed so that I can wire it inside the sheathing. Oh, I got wiring going through the ceiling, but that I can tape those wires up and pinch them with my ceiling materials that I'm putting up because of what I've chosen to put up in my design. Otherwise, everything runs through cabinets. All my outlets, I moved them so they're in the cabinet. They're on the end of a cabinet. They're on the side of a cabinet. They're a cabinet built for them. And so none of those outlets needed to be like in the wall. It's really sweet, really simple. Now I do have a couple of cases where my wiring chase needs to run through here and it's exposed. This is just, open. So my intent, something just fell over. My intent is I'm going to put a crown molding piece up here at 45-degree angle. And so that's just a wiring chase, but make those removable so I can always get to that and run wire anytime I want. Make it all accessible. I can pull a new wire, I can pull a wire out, change things out all very easily. Options and accessible. I like that. So there you go. This video is a little lengthy. That's my update of what I've accomplished this week. Front wall insulation, radiant floor in, finished the inside of my doors, worked on a few more problems there as well. And we are in 3-4 days, Wednesday? Wow, I'm in a couple of days, a few days, to start working on my electrical box. Oh, and I've actually already figured out what I'm doing for my battery. And I think my solar. And now just everything in between, between my electrical and all that. And I have figured out what I'm going to do about my recirculating shower. All of that coming up for videos as I keep moving forward, one step at a time, and making progress as much as I can in between my full-time real estate job. So there you go, folks. I hope that's helpful. Please come back. I am going to do a voiceover video on my radiant floor system so you can kind of see what I did. I have not seen anybody do exactly like this, and it's probably completely wrong, but I'm okay with it. If it doesn't work, I can pull it up and fix it. So I'm good. Thanks for joining me. See you in a couple of days.